Welcome back to Live Now from Fox, and you're taking a live look from southern Lebanon near Israel's border as we are following several breaking news stories out of the Middle East at this hour. And thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Quinu. Time right now is 1:05 Eastern, 10:05 Pacific. I want to head back live to the Middle East as Israel's military says dozens of aircrafts have struck Houthi targets in Yemen in response to the militants' recent attacks on Israel. The Houthi media office said the Israeli strikes hit two ports along with two power plants in a city that is a stronghold for the Iranian-backed rebels. Fire and smoke could be seen in the air over that region after the strikes. This also comes as this morning the Israeli Defense Forces issued a social media alert stating sirens sounded in northern Israel a short while ago as Hezbollah launched another barrage of rockets. And all of this coming on the heels as Hezbollah confirmed the death of a high-ranking official in an Israeli airstrike a day after the Lebanese militant group acknowledged the killing of multiple commanders, including a longtime leader. Now, the statement came hours after an Israeli airstrike on northeast Lebanon killed 11 people, and Israel says it is continuing to carry out attacks on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. Meanwhile, White House National Security spokesman John Kirby says Israel has, quote, wiped out Hezbollah's command structure with those airstrikes, but warned the militant group will work quickly to rebuild, saying, quote, they will try to recover. We're watching to see what they will do to try and fill this leadership vacuum. Iran's vice president says the country's supreme leader will decide on a response to Israel's strikes on Lebanon, quote, at the appropriate time, making those comments when he attended Hezbollah's office in Tehran to express condolences over the killing of one of the top leaders. To speak more on this, I do want to bring in Fleur Hassan Nahum, who's Israel's special foreign ministry envoy and former deputy mayor of Jerusalem. And Fleur, as always, we appreciate you taking the time to speak with us.
Sure, Stephanie, thank you.
Absolutely. And I do want to get to all of these breaking news situations. I do want to first start off with Hezbollah, as Iran now saying that they will retaliate. The White House National Security spokesman saying that Israel has wiped out the command structure of Hezbollah. What can you share with us?
Well, I think that Iran's strategy was going very well, and now it's going terribly wrong. And what is their strategy? Is basically to do the dirty work that they want to do, which is get rid of Israel and actually make sure that America is out of the architecture of the Middle East. That's really what they want to do. And they were doing this up until now through proxies. So Hezbollah is the biggest, the most successful proxy that they have. They set them up. They funded them. They became the largest terrorist and the strongest terrorist group in the world, Hezbollah, as a result of Iran. They did the same with Hamas. They've done the same with the Houthis, and now they're getting their noses into Iraq. And that is their strategy, to work through other people and to change the way that the Middle East works through their proxy so they don't get their hands dirty. And that was going well. And now it's not going well because, of course, the entire command structure, or the majority of Hezbollah, is gone. Hassan Nasrallah, the biggest ambassador of the Iranian, the Islamic Republic of Iran, is gone. They're in disarray. They have no communication systems. And Sinwar is also holed up in a tunnel under siege from Israel, who, of course, attacked back and are trying to dismantle and get our hostages back. And so this is what's going on right now. So Iran, of course, has to show that it was going to retaliate. But what they don't want is a regional conflict. They're saving that. They're saving the big war, especially with American warships in the Gulf sitting and waiting. So they're in a bit of a quandary. How much do they attack so it's a retaliation, but not too much that it, unleashes a regional war?
We've really seen Israel putting the pressure on Hezbollah, watching that command structure really just be destroyed. When it comes to trying to regroup, how likely is it that Hezbollah will be able to do that quickly and effectively?
Well, they're already talking about a replacement who happens to be a cousin of Qasem Soleimani, who is an Islamic Republic of Iran, big guy that the Americans actually eliminated a couple of years ago under Trump. And so they already have a replacement. I guess they're keeping it quiet. Meanwhile, the Ayatollah in the Islamic Republic has gone underground because he's scared for his own life. So let's see how this all pans out. But I'm pretty sure that we'll find a replacement for Hassan Nasrallah pretty quickly. The question is not the top of the pyramid. The question is who are going to be all of his commanders actually doing the work, and that's not going to be as simple.
None of it is simple. I do want to ask you this because no doubt the Houthis and Hamas are watching very closely with what is happening between Israel and Hezbollah. What is the message they are receiving, and what are they going to be doing with that message?
Well, again, the Houthis have been attacking Israel for a few months now. They've attacked our port of Eilat. They attacked Tel Aviv the other day. Again, another proxy of the Islamic Republic doing its bidding, which Israel cannot tolerate any country attacking its civilian population centers. Nobody would put up with this. It's incredible that it took us a year to defend ourselves from Hezbollah. They sent almost 10,000 rockets. Which country? Imagine the United States, if you're sitting in Texas and Mexico sent 10,000 rockets. What would the United States do?
And that's a very powerful question right there. And I do want to ask you this. Iran saying that they're going to be responding. They have, very strong words. But when it comes to actions, and as we saw in April, that they did retaliate, but they failed truly in doing so effectively. What does that retaliation look like? You did mention that they want to avoid a larger regional conflict. So there is a lot of strategy involved, especially as you were mentioning, that they use proxies really to carry out the dirty work, so to speak.
Yes, they're not in their comfort zone, Stephanie. They don't want to be doing direct confrontation, but then they've got their honor to uphold. And so they're in a quandary. They need to do enough that they feel validated, and they feel that they got their way back, but they can't do it too much to drag America into a regional war, because the truth is, and what's come out of all of this terrible conflict in this year, is that the proxies are terrorists. They're not conventional armies, and ultimately they do not hold a candle to the Israeli army and intelligence services or to the American army and its intelligence services. They know very well how to terrorize people, how to attack indiscriminately, how to attack civilians. But once you put them up against a conventional army, a strong army like the Israeli army or the United States Army, they're going to fold.
And we've also seen the Israeli army, granted they've not acknowledged in doing so, but the Israeli army also using maybe some unconventional tactics when it comes to targeting the electronic devices, and perhaps using some of those unconventional methods against the terrorists themselves. We are just over a week away from 1 year since October 7th, the deadly massacre by Hamas. When we take a look at the conflict between Israel and Hamas, what can you share with us about the very latest in that?
Well, basically, we want our hostages back. And I keep saying this. If they return the hostages, the whole thing would be over. The reason why innocent people are getting killed or got killed over the last few months is because Hamas used them as part of their defense strategy, as human shields. We're all tired of this. We want to go back to normal life. Israel has always wanted peace. We don't want to rule anybody else. We just don't want to be attacked and destroyed. It's very simple. We have to be able to get back to normal life. The Gazans want to be able to get back to normal life. But under a brutal terrorist regime that is Hamas, they will never be able to develop as a society. And I think a lot of Gazans are waking up to that now. And so we hope that after this war, when our hostages are returned, that we can see a regular government that cares for its people, that cares and invests in the future and potential of its people. And Israel will be very happy to have such a neighbor.
Laura, before we let you go, is there anything else? There's so many different situations unfolding as we speak in the Middle East when it comes to Hezbollah, when it comes to the Houthi rebels, when it comes to Hamas. Anything else that you really want to share with our viewers today?
I always try and remind everyone that the Islamic Republic of Iran, who are the big puppet masters behind everything, they have wider ambitions than Israel. We are basically the West and the free world's first line of defense. And this is why the free world has to back Israel up, because we're basically the boots on the ground and we are really saving everyone else from what they see and their very wide ambitions to basically turn the world back 500 years and create a global caliphate. They say it because they mean it.
Flora, as always, we appreciate you taking the time to join us here on Live Now from Fox.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.